Hi friends, welcome back to my channel if you are returning. Today I wanted to flip through my 2025 junk journal that I finished a few days ago and go through all of the spreads that I did this year. So just to start off with details of my journal, this is the Leuchtturm journal in A5, and this is the one in the soft cover. So they have a soft cover like this where it's a little bit more flexible, and then they also have a hard cover that the cover is thicker, and I believe it's like a cardboard material. But for this year I decided to go for a soft cover because last year I did a hard cover and it completely snapped in the middle of December, so it is barely holding on, whereas this journal is pretty still intact. It's obviously thick and chunky, but it's still holding everything together. All of the pages are still in the spine, and it is much more ideal for me personally. So that is the detail of my journal. Earlier this year, I printed out some stickers that I found on Pinterest and Canva on my own sticker paper and taped them on, and for the most part they are doing well, but I would say for sort of the edges, they are lifting up because the spine is so thick. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want to add stickers or anything to your journal, that it is most likely going to have a little lip right here. But yeah, this is my journal. This is my intro page. I started it on December 26, 2024, and now I'm going to add an end date, which would be December 11th. So by the time this video is up, I most likely will have my 2026 journal started, but I always like to do an intro page just to see how things have changed throughout the year. And oh my gosh, things have changed so much. The biggest thing has been my hair color. I recently went ginger in the beginning of the year. So me back then in 2024 to me now looks and feels like a completely different person. But yeah, I always like to do a little intro page just to commemorate where I am when I start the journal. For my first spread, I did a letter to myself where I just wrote at the end of the year things and hopes that I had for 2025. So I will open this and read this privately, but I'm so curious to see how the year has gone for 2024 me versus 2025 me and see how things have changed. But this is the main component of the spread, and I just added some random sprinklings of shopping that I did for Christmas and added it to this page. So the spread itself is not really that junk related, but I'm excited to open this. This next spread were some of my current favorite things as of December 2024. So I was super obsessed with Welch's berries and cherries fruit snacks in particular. I would buy huge bags of them and literally just eat them in a sitting. I also started my obsession with Smisky. As you can see, I have one right there on my computer and one right there, and I also have one in my car. So I really fell in love with Smisky, and I still do. I think they're the cutest blind boxes in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. I also used the wrapping paper that I wrapped for everyone's gift last year, which was this really hot pink and red star paper. And this was just the sticker that came with it, but I still have this roll, I believe, and have been obsessed with it. I also perfected my matcha ratio last year, or I guess this year. So matcha has been my go-to morning drink for caffeine instead of coffee because I just like that it's a smoother energy level and it's not a sudden crash like coffee would give me. And then also commemorating the Trader Joe's Gimbap, which I tried for the first time earlier this year and really liked it, so I just wanted to commemorate that as well. This is a journal spread that I did for ins and outs for the year. So I wanted to create a spread that kind of displays my intention for the year and what I wanted to bring more of and what I wanted to kind of leave back in last year. So again, this one is also not that junky, but more so just a journal spread to begin with. And for the most part, I do think that I have brought in a lot more of these ins in my life. Obviously not perfectly or as much as I would like to, but still an in regardless. And then the outs, definitely still need some work on some of these, but there's always next year. This next spread is sort of going over my perfect ideal slow mornings. That was something that I really wanted to be intentional about in 2025, were to have more slow mornings. And I think for the most part I have achieved that, where I'm not waking up so much in a panic, and a lot of my days I'm able to sort of ease into more than in the past, where I would wake up and literally just start working with coffee on an empty stomach, which was not good for me. But yeah, I think most of this year I have embraced a slower morning. And partially that just has to do with waking up earlier, which I hate doing, but it is a necessity for these slower mornings. And so these are kind of just all the things that I have introduced into my slow morning routine. So this is a gift card, or this is a stamp card from Thank You Coffee, when I would drink mostly coffee. And then here is my matcha, which I did it so that you can, you're like whisking it, you know? Isn't that so fun? So for this, what I use are basically these Velcro dots, and they're just adhesives. And so you just place one part of the Velcro down and then the other part on this part that you want to wiggle, and then it just wiggles. But yeah, this is kind of an ode to slow mornings. This next spread I did at a BTS journaling event in the beginning of the year, where it was basically just a bunch of ARMY all together and journaling together. So I decided to dedicate my journal spread to J-Hope, who is my bias. And so the event planner had a bunch of J-Hope's solo albums, particularly Jack in the Box, which is my personal favorite album. And so I used photos from that photo book, cut it up, and then added it here. And I also included some stickers that some vendors were selling around here. I tried to really embody the sunshininess of J-Hope. This next spread is the vision board night that I had with some of my girlfriends. So what we did is we essentially just had like a girls crafting night where we created vision boards for our 2025 visions. And so these are just scraps from that night. So we have the receipt from the dim sum that we ordered, and then all of our vision boards together here. And yeah, just some junk from the vision board night. And when I look back at my vision board, I think a lot of it has actually come true for the most part, and some things that I want to continue into the next year. But I always love having some sort of visual reminder of what my goals and intentions are for the new year. So I'm trying to do a vision board every year. Okay, so this next spread is also similar to that previous one where I collected things over time and built a spread out of it. So this one I created just over my love for matcha. I did it so that it's also like a review, so I remember like what I liked, what I didn't like, where I got it from, and so on and so forth. So yeah, these are just receipts and coffee sleeves of different cafes where I tried matcha, and I added it to this page in particular, especially when I didn't have that much junk to work with. So this was a really fun way to use up my junk in a way that kind of makes sense. I didn't have to collect too much junk to make it work. This next spread is all of the things that I collected over Christmas. So it's a lot of candy wrappers, envelopes of cards. This is also a card that my friend Erica wrote for me, so I just have it kind of flapped here. And then I also have another card that my friend Diana wrote me here. And I really love including greeting cards in my journal spreads just as a way to keep the cards in a place that I know I will never lose it. This next spread is from a Daiso haul that I did a few months ago. And so I basically had like a little movie and snack night and just bought a bunch of different snacks from Daiso. And I really wanted to challenge myself to create a spread using just junk. So everything here is either part of packaging from the food I bought or packaging from the Daiso bag itself. And so this was a really fun challenge to create a spread fully using junk, no stickers, no scrapbook paper, nothing outside of what was the junk. So this next spread, I actually hosted a Galentine's Day with some of my best friends. And so I printed out the menu that I created for this event and just used all of the wrappers for the things that I used to cook for the Galentine's Day. So we had some tteokbokki, we had some heart cookies from Trader Joe's. I also made some chocolate covered strawberries, and here's the packaging from that. And if you flip it over, we have the Gouda cheese from the charcuterie board, the receipt from Trader Joe's, which I'm so sad it already rubbed off. Usually it doesn't rub off this fast, but I still haven't found a way to preserve receipts the way that I want to. So that is something that I want to find for 2026, just more of the packaging from everything that I used. And this background is actually the tablecloth that I had bought for this event. So this next spread, I wanted to try to do like a monthly spread at the beginning of every month. I did not stick with it, but it is something that I want to do for next year, is just to be more consistent on. So this one is quite simple. Really the only junk that I used was this magazine pamphlet that I got from USPS for, I think, a Keith Haring collection that they were doing, and it was about art and love, which I felt was very fitting for Keith Haring. So not very much on this page junk wise, but still something that I want to do for next year is to do a monthly spread. This next spread I did after buying some flowers for Valentine's Day, and I dried out the flowers here and pressed them down. There's one flower that got moldy, and so it is now moldy. So I don't think this one was completely dry by the time I glued it down, so that's kind of gross. But I just created a junk journal spread with the dried pressed flowers that I had bought, and obviously quoting Miss Miley Cyrus. And yeah, this was a very, very fun spread to do. This next journal spread is very not junky at all, but I was in, I don't know, I was kind of in a funk creatively, and so I just wanted to create a spread where it was very low pressure, very low thought. I still really love everything on this page, so I felt like it was a journal spread that I wouldn't ever regret. But I love adding buttons whenever I need to fill up space but don't want to use stickers. I think buttons are kind of a fun and funky way of adding dimension to a journal spread. This next spread, I was super sick at this time. I so vividly remember it. I was so sick where I was coughing, sneezing, everything for weeks, almost 2 months. I just wanted to create this spread to remind myself that health is the most important thing that we can do for ourselves whenever we're able to. So this is what I wanted to create that spread of, and also just remind myself like I need to take care of things sooner rather than later. So this next spread is just commemorating one of my favorite songs at the moment. I was obsessed with this song when it first came out, and so I just created a little journal spread of the lyrics of it. But again, not much junk here, but wanted to sort of remember where I was at that time and what my favorite song was at the time. And so yeah, that's where this spread kind of comes from. Okay, so this next spread, me and my friend Erica went to Chicago for, I think, 5 days if I remember correctly. But we went to Chicago to go to J-Hope's concert. This is the essentially like the first day of Chicago that we had together. This garret is not from the first day. This was actually from the way back home, but everything else is pretty much from the first day, which includes my boarding pass, my luggage tag, the menu from the Chinese restaurant that we ate at. We also walked along the river. And so it was really such a fun time. And it was around St. Patrick's Day, so we were able to see the river turn green, which I had never seen before. And truthfully, I was so impressed by the Green River. I thought it was gonna be kind of gimmicky because it's like, you know, just a green river, but I was so in awe of it, and it actually made me tear up a little bit. This next spread is dedicated to Portillo's, which was my first time trying a Chicago hot dog actually, and it was so good. I actually still think about getting a Chicago hot dog all the time, and all of the packaging that they had was so cute, so obviously I had to keep it all for this junk journal spread. Kind of just dedicated an entire spread to Chicago hot dogs and Portillo's. Not affiliated, not sponsored. Just to make that clear. Okay, this next spread, obviously I had to make a spread dedicated to Chicago pizza. I feel like that's the quintessential Chicago food to try. So we tried both Giordano's and Lou Martinelli's, I think it's called. And here is just the spread of both of them. And if I had to choose between one or the other, I actually liked Lou's a little bit more, whereas Giordano's is a lot of dough. It was still really good, but I do prefer Lou's more. Okay, this next spread is dedicated to all of the dessert that I had in Chicago. So obviously we had to go to Magnolia Bakery because J-Hope was having a collaboration with them. So we got the Magnolia Bakery and J-Hope Sweet Dreams banana pudding there. And then we also had Jenny's, which was so good. I love Jenny's ice cream, so that was really good. Okay, and then this last spread, I was starting to run out of junk slash things, but I also had too many things for me to hold on to. So I just did a very general I love Chicago journal spread with what I had left. So we actually tried to visit the restaurant that The Bear is based off of, and they were closed to film season 4. So I had the sticker, didn't have any memories attached to it because they were closed. I also had this extra sticker that I bought from Neighborly. I just printed pictures of the Green River and the Bean, which I always love visiting. And so this is my March highlights. I had tried to keep the momentum of doing an end of the month spread. I don't think I kept it up after this month, honestly, but I just wanted to highlight some of the highlights of the month. And yeah, this one is quite vague in general, but still something that I wanted to remember. This next spread is the concert that J-Hope had in Los Angeles. A lot of this are the freebies that fans give. So if you've never been to a K-pop concert, a very big part of the culture is to create and give out freebies to other fans. And so this ticket is actually a freebie. This is a freebie. This is a freebie. And there's a sticker under here that is also a freebie. And this is a freebie. And I think this is a freebie. Oh, and this is a freebie. So a lot of this is actually just freebies that people like to create and give out. My friend and I were able to collect some of the dollar bills that are part of his show and some of the butterfly confetti that are part of his show. Yes, this was a very fun spread to do. Still look back on it very fondly. This next spread I did in honor of Earth Day. I wanted to create a spread acknowledging Earth Day and also reminding myself of the commitment that I make for myself to live as sustainably as possible and live as ethically towards the environment as possible. So this next spread is the very first Dodgers game that I had been to ever in my life, despite living in LA pretty much my entire life. This is just the junk that I had collected during that game. This next spread, so I had visited a friend who lives in San Diego, and we decided to meet up in Carlsbad, which was kind of the in-between of both of us. And so we went to Shout and About, which is kind of like a stationery / gift store that's out in Carlsbad. We also got some tacos, and I also did strawberry picking for the first time ever, and it was so much fun. On this trip, we also went to the Carlsbad flower fields. This background is actually a map of the entire flower grounds, and I also bought a postcard and some stickers from Shout and About. I always like to buy a postcard whenever I can and write on it, just so I can remember how the event went. This spread, so I had went to Denver and Vail in Colorado for a work event, and so this is kind of like my first day in Denver. So here's the boarding pass that I had. It is already faded away, but I still like to have it. This was a pass that I took for the train to get into the city, and this was the liquid IV that I brought so many liquid IVs because I did not want to get altitude sickness. I have some friends from my old job that live in Denver, so it was really nice to catch up with them and see them and kind of be in that environment. I also did it so that it flips up. So I thought that was fun, but it was kind of a lot of work to make it work. On our mostly only free day that we had, me and some of my work friends went to the Denver Art Museum, which was really fun to visit. Just had so many floors of both modern and also indigenous Denver art, which I thought was a really cool way to honor the indigenous community in Colorado, because I feel like that is often not remembered in a lot of museums. So it was really cool to see how the Denver Art Museum celebrated indigenous people. This next spread is to remember the start of summer. I just had a lot of imagery and pictures that reminded me of summer, so I did a summer list that I wanted to do. I did actually most of these, I just didn't mark them off. I think the only one I didn't do was see the sunrise, and that's just because I'm not a morning person. Okay, so this next spread, I went to visit a friend who lives near Washington, D.C. She is one of my best friends, and we haven't seen each other since she moved to the East Coast. It still feels like nothing has changed between us. This is a postcard that I bought at a gift shop there. I also bought this patch there, which I thought was so cute. This was a really fond time, even though it was a super short trip. This is the New York trip for work, so I wasn't able to collect as much junk as I normally would if it was just a trip for leisure. This is kind of just a little quick homage to New York that I visited. It was as much junk as I could make it work. Okay, so here is red junk dump spread. So I had collected a lot of red stuff, and again, just felt the need to get it all on paper and get it out of my system. This is everything that I had junk dumped that was red. So this next spread is my visit to Paper Plant Co. in Chinatown, LA. And this was actually where I bought my traveler's notebook, which is a notebook that I have been wanting for years at this point. And so I finally made the jump to just do it, and it's my now dedicated traveling journal. So starting next year, I really hope to add all of my travels to that journal rather than like my main journal, and then use my main journal for just like little specific memories. But Paper Plant Co. is one of my favorite stationery stores in Southern California, so I always try to visit whenever I am in the area. Okay, so we are on to the next journal spread. So this one is similar to my past red junk dump spreads, except this one is black. Kind of the only difference here, but I wanted to create another junk dump type spread, but challenge myself to use a different color that Not that I don't like black, but it is not a color that I collect a lot of junk of. And so I wanted to challenge myself with what I could create with the little junk that I had, and I think I made it work for the most part. This is actually made out of a shopping bag, like the handle too, and so I really tried to kind of get myself out of my comfort zone and just have more fun with different colors. This next spread was a visit to Lotteria, which is a burger fast food chain restaurant in Korea, and they had actually opened their first location in Fullerton, and so I went to go try it out, and this is kind of all of the packaging that came from it. I love how all of the yellows and reds kind of complement each other. I feel like that's so standard in fast food restaurants where they have yellow and red, but for some reason this yellow feels better. I don't know how to describe it. Okay, so this next spread was during a Halloween movie night that I had, and these stickers actually glow in the dark. I'll insert a clip of it glowing, but yeah, I thought this was just kind of a fun little Halloween spread. This was a spread of some of the things that I had bought from Olive Young a few weeks ago. I had just a lot of packaging to get rid of, so instead of just putting it down like a normal spread, I decided to make it like a shopping haul type spread. And so I printed out a picture of a shopping basket, and then I cut out and glued down all of the packaging of the things that I bought here. This next spread is a shopping haul of what I bought at Glossier. Yeah, this is just a little shopping haul specifically for Glossier because I feel like they put a lot of effort into their branding and making sure that everything from the box they use to the tissue paper is all cohesive. Okay, and this is the last spread of my journal, the unknowingly last spread of my journal. So I went to John and Vinny's a couple of weeks ago, actually a few months ago, and I just never had the chance to journal about it. I tore up the pizza box that they packaged my pizza in. I tore out their menu and I highlighted the pizzas that I ate. So I had the Brooklyn Dodger, which was so good. It's kind of like a margarita pizza, except they include garlic, which I feel like instantly levels up the pizza. And then I also got the El Chaparrito, is that what it's called? But this one was also really good. But yeah, that was pretty much all that I got. And that is the last of my journal. I hope to create my 2026 journal soon, and obviously I will film the setup of that. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that little flip through of my 2025 journal, and hopefully that sparked some ideas for you when you start journaling or when you start your 2026 journal. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Bye!